said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, and the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. As we'll see a participant from last year's playoff, the UCLA Bruins, taking on the 9th-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And the Buckeyes, long wait is coming to an end as they'll put a foot to it and the season will get underway. It bounds through the back of the end zone and it'll be a touchback. This crowd trying to show them what it's going to be like all day in this house. Grabbed over the middle. It's Cherry. Breaks away on the left. Sees him in open space. An opportunity all the way inside the red zone. They'll mark it at the 19.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
Explosive plays are great, but you got to finish the deal. 1st and 10 in the red zone. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Guys, let's take a minute here and think about UCLA. We start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time. The number beside your name doesn't matter right now. The number matters late in the season. So you want to start the season fast. You want to be gelling on offense and on defense. I think that's the challenge early.
Absolutely. Figuring out who you are. Obviously some talented pieces, well thought of in the top 25, but a lot of season to go out and prove it. Day one, game one. Make that first impression.
This crowd knows this defense needs them right now. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted in the first drive in for the pick.
I love the defense's approach on this drive. They didn't panic. They gave up some yards, but what did they do? They forced a 3rd down, a predictable situation, played great discipline, broke on the football, and forced a big interception.
The give to the running back from the shotgun. That's the first down marker and still running. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
Man, coaches talked about they want to get this running back involved early and often and create some momentum, and this is a great way to do it. Early in this football game, ripping off an explosive run, get the juices going, and I bet you he's going to get a few more touches today.
These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34. The Buckeyes can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Now the play fake. Throws to the tight end. Makes the grab along the sidelines, and they get enough for the first down.
Really nice throw there to get the ball.
And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. The Buckeyes will have it 1st and 10. Here we go. Looking for space. It's Moffitt. Gets it past the marker. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game...
Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
And the Buckeyes with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Davis looking to pass. Here's a hit. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And these coaches have these play sheets over there on the sidelines, and there's so many calls they want to call, and they want to make explosive plays, but you got to protect your QB, and he's already been sacked. Now he's hit again. Like, they've got to protect him up front if they want a chance of doing damage on the offensive side of the football.
And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up. This is a kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
On fourth down, looking for the completion. Takes a shot as he throws, and it never had a chance. Incomplete.
That is great job by this defense, coming up big on fourth down when it matters the most. You could tell they were dialed in. They knew they were going to throw the football. The defense was locked in on the quarterback. Great job defending the pass, forcing the incompletion on fourth down.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's Wood. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Looking to throw on first down. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing. Change now on 2nd and long. Dropping back, it's Duggar. A little screen to the running back. Oh, he's got some space. He gets it past the first down marker, and a really nice job to set up that screen and move the sticks. What a nice job getting rid of the football, not only avoiding the sack, but getting the nice gain.
And taking a shot, getting hit as he throws it, showing some toughness, but going
free up the gut. Touchdown, UCLA. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him. You're not going to keep the lid on this guy forever. Sooner or later, he's going to get loose.
He is. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I mean, this dude can make plays. That's why you keep feeding it to him, because at some point, he's going to break it loose and make a huge play.
And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the fourth down, and it led to the scoring drive, David. And he uncorks one deep. And he gets the foot down. It's a catch deep along the left sideline.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket and you have your feet set underneath you. But when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
He's up to 47 yards for them on the ground already in this first quarter. He looks as if he's ready to put up numbers. Making side adjustments here. Now from inside the red zone. Quarterback adapting. Outside the pocket, lets it go. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Oh, that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the Big Ten. Nebraska is trailing right now, but it's only a couple of points. That quarterback just needs to show the poise of a young Tommy Frazier, and they are right back in this. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to USC. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this Big Ten battle.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. Looking for a man, it's Duggar. Bringing the heat. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with a turnover. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you. And I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent, but he's making bad decisions.
The Buckeyes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Back to pass. Caught behind the line. It's Moffitt. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
1st and 10 for the offense. Looking to throw on 1st down. Here he goes breaking the pocket. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anyway.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Davis will throw. That pass is incomplete, but this has been a period in which the offenses have shined. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see who gets the edge early in the second. They'll play it safe and send out the field goal unit. Right down the boulevard. And guys, after the field goal, now they have the lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. This drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
Snags a quick pass on the left. Still on his feet at the 45. And it take that one all the way to the house. Just ran out of a little steam. The defense finally got it. And the Bruins come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Pocket breaking down. Got the back over the middle. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. You want to create favorable matchups, and the angle route against the backer is a good way to do it.
Yeah, and especially if you're going to run man-to-man, that's hard. That's hard for a linebacker to run with a fast tailback. But if I can play a little bit more...
Touchdown, Bruins! They get it into the end zone to pay off that opportunity.
This offense is high octane, boy. You just saw it. Not a lot of time needed for them to go all the way and score 6. Well done.
And with the extra point, they're up 14-10. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they close the deal with a 16-yard throw for the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So, let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
The Buckeyes come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Takes a handoff. It's Maka. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. As they unpack the pile, it's part of Ohio State's DNA to have a lethal running game.
And this is a trend, Reese. We can go back as long as you want to go back, and we can go back a couple years to J.K. Dobbins, and we can go all the way back to Eddie George. They always find great running backs at Ohio State.
Looking to buy time. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
You know, it's difficult for QBs sometimes when you're throwing to your running backs because they're not receivers. You really got to be perfect with the ball placement. You got to make that a catchable throw. A little bit too tough for the RB on that one.
Davis looking to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's Foster. Brought down at the 45 after a 15-yard pickup.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed after he made his break? He was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
Wants to go up top on first down. Caught in the backfield, it's Maka. No siree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Well, the defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Wants to throw it. Rush is on him. Hits him inside the 20, still going. Touchdown, Ohio State. A great catch and run for 6.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback and wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
And he's not going to take a knee. Here he comes. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. UCLA will go back to work on offense. These two defenses have had their heads spinning here in the first half, and now we might even see a little more scoring with this drive.
It's going back and forth. This is like two heavyweights just trading blows, David. What does this defense got to do to get a stop here?
I tell you what, man, when you're giving up points like this and you've got no momentum, you've got to find somebody that can make a play to create something. And listen, if they're scoring anyways, let's be aggressive. Let's blitz more. Let's make sure we're making them feel discomfort in some way, shape, or form.
Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. To the air, it's Duggar. He'll pull it down, and he has a solid gain on the play before sliding. It's hard to find a place these days that the Big Ten doesn't touch geographically, but there's a lot of crossover with the Big Ten and Big 12, and plenty of bragging rights on the line when their schools meet.
You think about Nebraska once upon a time being in the Big 12, now in the Big 10 too. These conferences also recruit in similar areas too. So this game is interesting, David, because a lot of these players, they're familiar with each other from high school.
Yeah, and I tell you, from experience, you hate that. Like, you get to know each other, you go to the other school, like, you're now my enemy. You're not my friend anymore. So a chance to prove it, a chance for the Big 12, who's been kind of pillaged and pulled apart at times, sometimes by the Big 10, it's going to make a statement.
When you see them there taking the shot, I think the thought process is look, we've had so much success early in this game running the football. Let's see if we can now take advantage of the defense throwing the ball over their head. They're going to be expecting run. Safeties and linebackers are all going to be playing downhill trying to stop that. If we get the one-on-one opportunities to the outside, we have got to take shots. That one fell incomplete, but they should keep trying this as the game goes on.
They'll throw for it. The sure hands, it's Wood. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. The definition of four-down territory has changed over the last few years. It extended into their own territory there.
Anywhere, everywhere, just look at the card, right? That card's supposed to tell us what to do, but maybe I'll go for it anyways. This offense took a little bit of a gamble, but they get the first down. Nothing to worry about.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the first.
Creates a little room. Turning it on. The 10. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, UCLA.
And that's exactly what you want from your offense. Man, late in the half, you want to execute and then punch it in physically on the ground, take the lead going into the half, take all the momentum. Nice execution of the drive by that offense.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. He wants to change this route. Davis will throw. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. On the run, deep down the right side. Pulls it in down the sideline. That defense got gashed, but they finally get it to the turf at the 47. Offense set on first down. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the middle. Boy, did that one have revolutions on it, but it's incomplete. So now it's second and long. Wants to go up top. Oh, they're after him. Snagged out of the air. And he's brought down after a nice game. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And the Buckeyes will snap it on 1st and 10. Just keeps slinging it. Throws toward the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Pedal to the metal right now for this offense. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Here on their 3rd possession, they're still taking shots way down the field, and why not? Give the defense credit finally. Something good happens for them to get the incompletion, but if I'm this quarterback, I'm still throwing it deep.
On 2nd down, he'll try to make the connection this time. He'll take another shot here. Makes the grab on the big throw. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it 1st and goal at the 6. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Wants to adjust the pattern. They'll run it on 1st and goal. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
And the quickest way to blow up the run game is those interior big boys, those defensive tackles getting in the backfield really quickly and making that ball hurt.
Man, that D tackle was in the backfield in a hurry. The big man is nimble.
Nimble, fast, quick, athletic. That's just all words you describe defensive linemen with.
The run up the middle, trying to power to the goal line. Once again, finding nowhere to run against this defense as he's knocked down immediately. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. They'll try to pass it in on 3rd and goal. Let you go to the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Ran the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
Really nice job on their final drive of the first half. They were calm, cool, collected. They had balance, excellent execution. They're going to take a lead in here at halftime.
It's so much easier to go into half with that positive momentum, that positive juice. Now we can point to what we just did. Great job taking the lead. Now you go make your halftime adjustments.
And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Nice return there, and he'll be dragged down at the 34. Enough time to get off a play before we head to halftime. Wants to throw. It's Duggar. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. Crosses the 45. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Timeout, UCLA.
And in the waning seconds of the first half, they'll try to put up 3 before going to the break. Kick comes up a little short, and now he's thinking kick 6. Boy, he almost finished his half with a bang, and are they lucky to get him stopped? They're eager to head to that dressing room right now. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. The Bruins will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. And he's going to bring it out. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Makes the grab. It's Moffitt. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Again, this is a running back that can hurt you running it between the tackles, and he's dangerous out in space. They like to throw it to him out on the perimeter as he picks up a couple of yards there.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. Might be calling a hot route. Davis looking to pass. Under fire. Pulls it in on the right. And he'll be run out of bounds. And these guys are piling up some serious yardage totals. One of the great programs in the history of the sport, sort of built on the running game, but these days, Ohio State defined by explosive pass play.
Yeah, you can call yourself whatever you want. A lot of people claim different things like wide receiver U, but when you look at Ohio State the past several years, going back 10 years probably, you can pick so many big names of guys who have been superstars, not only at the college level, but also at the NFL level.
The Buckeyes have a lot of options on second and inches. They'll send the tight end in motion. Keep it on the ground. Ball down, and they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
And these short yardage situations, it all comes down to the up front. Like, who can win the battle up front? Can you get a hat on the hat? They do. This offensive line, they get on the D-line, they create just enough space, understand short yard situation, fall forward, and get a first down.
On the run, it's Moffitt. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Second down, he'll throw it. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
And a nice job understanding. They're trying to run a screen. They're trying to throw that over your head. They let you run up the field. You're not going to get to be able to get the sack, get your hands in the air, try to affect the quarterback, and a nice job getting my hands in the air and deflecting the football.
Davis will throw. Here's the pressure. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That's what this defense has to do, guys. They've got to knock this quarterback down to the ground. He's already thrown a couple of TDs. The only way you're going to stop that is with good quarterback pressure.
The Buckeyes will try to convert on fourth down. Might be changing the route. On fourth down, trying to find his man. Blasted as he lets it go. The incomplete pass ends a frustrating series, and they turn it over on downs.
Well, great defense on that one. They were ready for pass, and they forced the incompletion. They're coming off the field. That's a big win for this defense.
leaves it with the back. That gives him 100 yards on the ground, and that will put him over 100, and what a way to start the season. And the Bruins in a good spot here with second and short. Quickly out to the tight end. Got room at the 35. He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 31, and a big pickup on that one. They've got it down to the 32. First and 10 coming. To the air on first down. The safe call on the wide receiver screen.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
The Bruins have their whole playbook open here on second and inches. Trying play action. Might be looking to run. Going to try to get it himself. Nice job there to limit the running room, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain.
Yeah, but how about these short yardage situations? Having a weapon like this, a quarterback that can run the football, he only needed a few. He knew that. Good patience, scrambles around, gets the first down, gets just enough.
And the Bruins are on the move. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Not a lot there. Picks up one inside the 20 to the 19.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Looking to throw, it's Duggar. Got his man. He steps out of bounds, but it'll be enough to give them a first and goal.
And when this quarterback is in a rhythm, this offense is really hard to stop. You've seen that on this drive. He's 3 for 3, but they're also running the ball well. Everything they're dialing up right now is working.
This offense trying to quieten the crowd on first and goal, and they are not cooperating. Looking downfield on first down. Looking to scramble. Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there, but on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls out.
The run up the middle, looking for the score. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
2 runs, and this defense has been physical, giving up absolutely nothing. Palmer, what's your passing play I think you go to here?
No, I like moving the pocket at this point, Pollock, and also maybe thinking about the tight end on a crossing route. You can kind of get through the traffic, come out the other side.
Grabbed behind the line, it's Wood. Touchdown, Bruins! And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half.
Love the individual effort here by the wide receiver. After he has the ball, able to make people miss. You see the speed as he goes in for the touchdown.
And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead.
UCLA 28, Ohio State 24.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Let's see if he can make a play on the return. And the returner runs out of... State as he goes down. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. Quarterback may change this route. Davis looking to pass. Starting to feel a little pressure. On the move to the right and looking for a big one. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down. This is one of the great atmospheres in the sport, but this crowd demands to be entertained. And they are entertained right now.
Yeah, when you got playmakers that you can throw the ball to down the field like Ohio State does consistently every year, you always expect this. This fan base goes nuts because year after year they have elite playmakers.
Looking to throw on first down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches. But you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Pressure coming. Down he goes, and that is the last thing this offense needs right now.
And it just doesn't get more dominant than that. One-on-one, me versus you, and there's nothing you can do about it, David. I know that's something you know a lot about based on your time at Georgia.
Man, fly off the edge, beat the man as quick as you can. There's so many things that have to go right for you to get a sack. The ball has to be coming out a little bit later. But you know what? When you win that fast and that clean off the line of scrimmage, that is how it's done at the highest level for that defensive end.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. They needed a big play, and they got it. And the foot down for the first down. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. He might want another play. We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory.
24.
They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. Davis will throw. Under fire. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
And that is a great job by the defense, containing and constricting the pocket. There was nowhere for the QB to go, and he did not have a lot of time. He went down quick.
And the Buckeyes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Second down, they'll go to the air. Here comes the heat. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are. You're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
Lining up to convert third down. The offense changing the play. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. It's caught. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, he'll make those contested catches.
Here's a hit! And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
Well, the offense trying to stay aggressive, right? You just came up with a huge play, and right away you go back to another pass, but you got to do a better job protecting your quarterback. Can't give up a sack there.
Davis looking to pass. That one comes out hot down the right side. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line.
It's hard to run a route. Get lost through the sidelines and understand exactly where you're at. Nice job understanding I was starting to get close to the sidelines, throttling down a little bit, catching the football, and making sure I was in bounds.
Looking to pass inside the red zone. Flips it out to the back. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business. First and goal.
Blitz me, I'm getting the ball out of my hands. Really good job understanding that by the offensive coordinator, this quarterback, seeing the blitz, getting the ball to a playmaker, letting him do some damage, and more importantly, I don't have to throw it way down the field. Just get the first down.
He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense. Understand, listen, that QB is a threat, and they're going to run all kinds of options. He's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Quarterback making checks. Just going to keep it after the snap. Touchdown, Ohio State. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And that's a really nice physical run. This is a team that prides themselves on the ability to establish the line of scrimmage. And here we are in the 4th quarter, late in the game. Everyone's tired, and a no-nonsense run. Great push by the offensive line, taking the lead with that touchdown.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. Jacksonville State is getting hammered right now. They are the nail, and that figurative mallet is just pounding them into the ground. What a bad look. They're trailing by 14 to Louisville. This one has actually kind of exceeded expectations. Always a memorable chapter in the book of college football.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. They'll send the back in motion. Back to throw, it's Duggar. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Wide receiver going in motion. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. This time he's got his man. And he's brought down after a nice gain. This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the 1st down.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
Safe completion on the screen.
And on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
Second down, they'll go to the air. It's complete to the right. Boy, that was a precision play all the way around. Throw, catch, tackle, bang, bang, bang.
And you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Pulls it in. It's Cherry. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. The Bruins are moving quickly down the field. Dropping back, it's Duggar. Bringing the heat. Trying to get rid of it. He just throws it away, and I think the flag's going to be coming in. There it is. Line getting set on second down. To keep it in the air. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the mistiming.
No mystery here. Third California late in the game. Defense knows they're going to throw it, so they're going to have a lot of guys back in zone coverage. These guys up front are going to be pinning their ears back. Quarterback better have the clock going off in his head.
Big third down as the crowd gets behind this defense. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Got it! Touchdown, UCLA! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the fourth.
What a great job by this offense. And listen, I judge offenses by what they do in the clutch, in those big moments, and right before the half, in the fourth quarter, late in the game, just like right here. You need a score. You got to go take the lead. They do everything they can. Now, defense, you're up. I need you to get me a stop.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. Starts a drive trying to go up top. And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete.
And this offense has been a struggle bus. I mean, just call it like it is, guys. It hasn't been good, especially the passing game. And I'll tell you what, QB's played better games before. And I'm interested to watch. Can he stay positive? Can he finish this game off on a good note?
Motion from the wideout. Quarterback making adjustments. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Pocket breaking down. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete.
Well, they've thrown 2 straight incompletions, and they just need to play pitch and catch on this next play. They're down a possession, and you don't have to necessarily get the first down right here, but if you don't get it, you've got to at least keep the fourth down manageable to give yourself an opportunity to keep pushing the ball down the field and give yourselves a shot to win.
On third down, he drops the throw. Quickly complete. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down. Time is their enemy. It's running out on them. Down 4, they'll go for it on fourth down. He got a little antsy at the line of scrimmage, and they'll move him back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The clock is relentlessly working against them. Down 4, they'll go for it on 4th down. Desperate to convert, and he'll throw it. Makes the grab. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on 4th down.
You know, offensively in that situation, 4th down, you're throwing for it. Everything has to go right, or someone just needs to be able to make a play to keep the drive alive. They couldn't get it done, and now the offense is coming off the field.
They'll use a timeout here. You have to be certain at this point in the game. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Finds his tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. These fans stepping up to help this defense on 3rd down. Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. Flying out to the left. Touchdown, Bruins. And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching it.
Well, they get the touchdown when they needed it most. That score now makes it a 2-possession game, and guys, with just seconds to go on the game clock, this thing is all but over.
And the extra point is up and good, and they have an 11-point 4th-quarter lead. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finished it off with the 33-yard touchdown run.
Number 12 sets the kickoff.
On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. Right down the middle. With the catch, it's Byrne. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. Looking to throw on 1st down. Here's a throw downfield late. And it falls incomplete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there.
Man, what a great play by the defender there. Big-time players make big plays in big games, and against an outstanding wide receiver one-on-one, he's able to knock the ball away and force an incompletion late in the game with everything on the line.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Unloads to the wideout. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
Well, the quarterback off target on that one. And in this 2-minute situation, you've got to be able to call and run passing plays that you feel like you can run in your sleep.
Being started out great on this drive, but then a couple of incompletions, and now it's 3rd and 10. From the gun, wants to pass. Dumps it to the back. They're working that left side. They convert on 3rd down as he gets it to the 46-yard line. They'll rush to the line. Clock stopped for the 1st down. They'll set the chains and wind the clock. He lobs one high down the left side. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. The Buckeyes will hustle to the line. Whoops, someone moved a little bit early. Offense going to pick up a 5-yard penalty. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw 2 really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, two really good teams, man. That's a reason why they're both ranked. They're both really good, and I tell you what, getting this win proves something to everyone else now. Like, I was ranked below this squad. You beat a team that's ranked above. Build some momentum. This squad's about to get some more respect, Palmer.
I think good teams find ways to win games, especially in a game like this. Two ranked opponents, evenly matched. Who's going to be able to make the plays when it matters the most? You got to give this team credit. This is a big win. It's impressive, and now they get to move up the rankings.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.